Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Loki episode 6 for all time, always. And yes, this is the finale of Loki. We've been here for 6 weeks, so what did I think about the finale? I'm gonna say it was great. I really enjoyed it a lot. And what did I really enjoy about it? Well, first of all, we get a big bombshell in this episode, which I'll get to in just a minute. Just give me a second. So, to warm up this, we start off with Loki and Sylvie coming to this castle from last week. But what was cool about the opening shot, I think, was hearing all the voices of a lot of the characters throughout the MCU. We heard T'Challa, we heard Vision from WandaVision. It was that line, what is love? Or what is love if love... I forgot how the line goes right now, but it was a really nice line that a lot of people really liked. We heard... who else did we hear? Did we hear Captain America? I think we heard Sam Wilson. We heard a whole bunch of characters that their voices were going throughout. I think bad guys and good guys. Mostly good guys. And then we even hear some historical figures, some more recent, others, like I think Martin Luther King was heard, if I remember correctly, and some other ones, so we hear all these voices, and finally we get to the castle and see Sylvie and Loki getting ready to storm the castle and confront who's ever in there. And when Miss Minutes showed up at first, I was thinking, oh my goodness, are the theories right, and Miss Minutes is going to turn out to be the villain of this story? I was like, come on, really? I thought those theories were cute. But it's not what I wanted, and thankfully it wasn't. But it shows that Miss Minutes is really shady, and I was like, wait a minute, if she knew about this, was she lying to Ravonna too? And later on, we do see her with Ravonna, and clearly she's being shady with Ravonna, but she does give Ravonna a little bit of information that will guide her somewhere, which we never find out where she goes. So they're clearly leaving things open for next season. So I in some ways, I was a little disappointed we didn't find out where she was going, not even a little hint. But we do get to see a little bit of her in the real timeline when B-15 takes leads some of the recruits to 2018 and finds Ravonna under a different alias as a school teacher, which I thought was really cool. So we got to see her in her real timeline. I kind of wish we got to see B-15's real timeline too, like what's her real name and stuff like that. That would have been cool, but at least we got some information about Ravonna, which I think obviously she's a little bit more important as the character anyways, because she's clearly going to have some sort of an alliance with the villain who was revealed in this episode right in the beginning. Well, not right in the beginning, but a little bit in the beginning. Kang the Conqueror. He is Jonathan Majors, who was announced as Kang the Conqueror. Although we thought he was going to be an Ant-Man and the Wasp, I thought maybe he was going to get a little cameo in this episode, but no, he has a full-out major role. He is like the special guest appearance, if you will, in this episode. Not only setting up for future events for Loki, but future events for the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole. So this is really cool getting to see him play this character for the first time. And is this going to be what the character will be moving forward? I don't think so, because he kind of hints that there were other variants of himself, because he explains his whole origin and how the TVA was created under him and why it was created. Some of what we saw in the television screen on the cartoon was somewhat accurate to how it was, but then there were some things that were left out, and he puts in those holes and explains further on what he was, that he was someone from the 31st century who started becoming intelligent enough to find out about time travel and somewhat in the multiverse, and eventually it gets to the point where he starts seeing other variants of himself, and they get into the war. That's actually where the real multiversal war started, in that he was the one that eventually came out on top, and his timeline became the sacred timeline. I'm hoping I'm getting that right. If someone wants to correct me, go for it. But that's from what I understood and remembered from it. It's been a couple of hours since I last saw the episode, but I'm pretty confident that's what was explained to me. So with after all of that is explained, Loki and Sylvie are like, do we kill this guy? Do we trust him? It's all a matter of wits and skills and, battle of the mind more than actually brute strength, because obviously all these characters, they don't, well, Kang we don't really know, but Loki and Sylvie might be a better fighter than Loki, but Loki is an okay fighter. But it's more about the brains, I felt, than the brawn. But going back on topic, eventually Loki starts to believe what Kang is telling him. They don't call him Kang in the episode, though. A lot of people are pointing that out. Like, what's the point of hiding his name still? We all know who he is. He even makes a little reference to, I was called this and that, and he eventually does drop the word conqueror. He was also referred to as a conqueror. I did like the word jerk, that they threw that in there too. I thought that was kind of funny, because he probably was a jerk on, like, when he was just a regular guy in the 31st century. I kind of wish we kind of got a flashback, but look, if we're gonna get more of him, who knows, anything is possible down the road. But eventually it gets to the point where Loki and Sylvie start to have differing of opinions, and Sylvie kind of betrays Loki after their little kiss, where I was like, ugh, because I still find that relationship weird. The idea of it, I can kind of separate them a little bit, but at the same time, when I think, yeah, but it's himself, so he's making out with himself, so it's a little weird, but okay, fine. They look different at least, so maybe I can try to, maybe Sylvie changed her genes also. I'm hoping next season, because let's face it, that was one of the big things that was dropped today. At the end credits, there's not really a scene, but when you go at the end of the credits, they have Loki will return in season 2. So Loki season 2 is coming, and that gets me excited. I'm very excited, especially the way it ends, as I'll get there. It's very exciting things on what will happen, because we don't even know what happened to Sylvie after she kills Kang. That's the last we see of her. So what's up with her? Is she still there? Is she ruling the timeline? Did another Kang come and get her? Because Loki, what I really loved about this ending was the twist ending that they had, where he goes back because Mobius went back to the TVA from the last episode. And we do see him confront Ravonna. He gets his ass kicked easily, though, because clearly Mobius isn't a good fighter. But that was about it with Mobius. He didn't really get much to do aside from getting his ass kicked and trying to stop Ravonna. But when Loki gets back to the TVA, we think at first, okay, so there's Mobius, but Mobius is kind of like, not like, hey, take it easy. You're a variant that just got here. Calm down. And I'm like, well, what's he saying? I don't get it. Why is he treating Loki like a stranger? He should know what he's talking about. And then when Loki turns around, he notices the statues are now different. They look more like Kang. And we realize, oh shit, he did not even return back to the TVA that he knew. He's now in a different timeline of the TVA. So it's like, wow. So shit is going, now that Kang is killed, the Kang that was at that castle, Sylvie killed him. The multiverse, we see it starting to expand, and it's going haywire. And people on Twitter today, I see X-Men is trending, Spider-Man Far From or No Way Home is trending, Doctor Strange is trending. All these things, Marvel-related things that have something to do with the multiverse that we know of, are all trending today. And it's like, yeah, we know what this means. tomorrow, if it's not tomorrow or Friday, I guarantee you next week the Spider-Man Far From Home or No Way Home trailer will drop, and we're that this is all built up. This is all built up. They're building up to each show and movie that they're doing. Some will have different connections to others, like Black Widow. If you didn't watch Black Widow, here's another spoiler for you. I hope you did. The Black Widow movie at the end credits hints that it's going to be connected to the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus. So this is really awesome because this shows the implications. Unlike Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which never had any ramifications to the movies. That always stayed in its own bubble. They took things from the movies to their show, but it's like the movies ignored them because you're the little sibling that we don't pay attention to. These shows are the ones that matter, and that's what I'm loving about it, because these shows will have ramifications to the movies, just like the movies will have ramifications to these TV shows. As we saw a little bit in WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, we got a little bit of the snap, right? They mentioned the snap had happened, and we see the effects of what happened after the snap with some of these characters. Now we're going to see the ramifications in Loki, what they're going to have with Doctor Strange, with Doctor Strange and what was the other one? Spider-Man No Way Home. So yeah, it's going to be really fun and interesting to see how this is all going to affect those two films. And it was also confirmed today, not by Marvel Studios, so maybe take it with a grain of salt if you want, but the Hollywood Reporter, I believe I read, reports that Loki will be in the Doctor Strange sequel, and then all these other sites started reporting it as well. And the Hollywood Reporter is one of the more trusted sources when it comes to breaking movie news. So this is really awesome. Now we know that WandaVision connects to Doctor Strange, and Loki is going to connect to Doctor Strange, which we kind of knew already. We heard that in the past. I believe Kevin Feige even said it at one of the conventions, San Diego Comic-Con or something like that, I believe. But then he kind of didn't mention it since that one time. And then some people kind of forgot about it, or he was sidetracking it for some reason, even though he let it slip before. But whatever, it's all confirmed now. It seems like Loki is also getting a season 2. So I'm going to guess season 2 will come out after Doctor Strange, but before Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That would be my guess, unless they started filming Loki season 2 now, because Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness comes out, I believe, in May of next year or June of next year, somewhere around there. Summer of next year, I know that. So, or does it come out in November? I guess it would depend on when Doctor Strange, I believe it's coming early, mid 2022. So whatever, I believe it would. I think Loki season 2 is going to come out after that, but before Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, if that makes sense. I don't think we're going to see Kang in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but I do believe Doctor Strange will help Loki control the multiverse a little bit. And then season 2 of Loki will be about trying to find Kang the Conqueror, I believe. Maybe. We'll see. I have no idea, because there's no confirmed date on when Loki is going to start production. And I think we will see a little bit more of the multiverse in season 2 of Loki, and seeing how that affects everything. So I thought it was interesting that it said Loki will return in season 2, but it didn't say Loki will return in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's interesting, because usually that's how Marvel does things, right? They want people, unless season 2 is coming before Doctor Strange. I don't know. Either way, let me talk about my full thoughts on the entire season. The episode itself, I really thought was great. The season itself, I thought was a really great, solid season. Overall, though, I think out of the 3 Disney Plus shows, I still think I feel WandaVision was the best one, but I do feel Loki might be my second favorite. It's close with Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I think I put Loki a little bit more above it because Loki was a lot more creative, and you need sometimes for creative things that are being a little bit more creative and taking a little bit more risks. I think, which is what both WandaVision and Loki did. I think they take more chances on that, and I think the chances really worked well for them, considering how much people on Twitter I see right now, and even on IMDb, the rating for the episode has a really high score. The series in general has a really high score, and even on Rotten Tomatoes as well from critics. So clearly, critics, and audiences are loving Loki, and it was well worth it. I thought. I can't wait to watch the entire the entire season fully this weekend. That's gonna be a lot of fun, and yeah, so. There you go, guys. Tell me what you thought of season 1 of Loki. We're getting a season 2. Are you excited? What do you think about him possibly appearing, or looks like most likely appearing in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Maybe teaming up with Wanda and Doctor Strange? Who knows? It's going to be interesting. And with that being said, guys, I want to give a shout out to my Patreon supporters. These are the people that help support this channel and want to see me grow, and I thank them very much for that. And if you want to be a Patreon supporter, you can go to patreon.com/DavidJordeo, where, yeah, you can pay a $5 subscription or $10 subscription, which will get you a credit at the end of every video. Right now, I only have 4 subscribers, but 4 is better than nothing, believe me. I thought I wasn't even gonna have 1, but when I started this, and thankfully, there are a couple of really great people out there who wanted to help support the channel. So thank you very much. And look, if you can't, I get it. It's tough times right now. Even I'm struggling. That's why I'm doing this for myself, to see if I can get any support to back me up. But if you can't, look, what also helps this channel is liking every video and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and send out a link to people who might be interested in checking out a spoiler for Loki, you know? Let people know about it. And with that being said, guys, I think that's about it. I'm gonna try to do one more video. I saw that the Titans Season 3 trailer dropped, and I really want to do a trailer breakdown like I did for the What If trailer, because I thought that was a lot of fun. And all I have to do is record my voice really while showing the trailer on screen. So I thought that could be a pretty easy, simple thing to do. So I'll see if I can squeeze that out today. If not, maybe tomorrow if I have time. Yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go watch the finale again. And I hope if you guys did, that's awesome. And until next time, everybody, hopefully I didn't forget anything. Take care.